Hello everybody and welcome back to Fortunate Farmer. Today it's raining outside, so what I'd like to do is make a video showing some of the timber frame tools that I have and how to sharpen them, and some of the really cool old antique tools that I've collected over the past few years and how to sharpen them as well. But first, we've got a huge mess in here from the past couple days of timber framing, so we need to clean that up. So we got everything cleaned up. I want to take you all through my collection of old planes and timber framing tools and show you a really great find that I got off of Craigslist. A lot of these I actually use fairly regularly for timber framing. I want to show you those first. So this jack plane right here, this is a Union number 4. This one and the shoulder plane will be sharpening today because I use these all the time for timber framing. But this is my go-to. I actually just keep this in my tool belt, and I whip this thing out all the time for planing off a tenon or cutting off a high spot. Really love this plane. This shoulder plane right here is really fantastic. It's actually also got a guide that slides in and out, so you can set a distance off of the edge, and then basically it's like plain lap siding or a lap joint. There's another shoulder plane that I have used for timber framing. I don't use it as much because the metal one is just a little more hefty, but this looks like a handmade plane. It's really great. It's a shoulder plane, so that means you can get right up next to something and still plane next to a vertical face and still be able to plane it off. This one I sharpened a few weeks ago and it's still nice and sharp, so we'll leave that one be. This low angle block plane is fantastic. This is basically my wood eraser. When I make a wrong line somewhere, I just come in here with this and quickly plane it off. It's also good for rounding off corners. Then we get into our big boys. These all need to be sharpened. This one's got huge chips in the teeth from I don't know what. This is a Marsh number 7. This one's pretty cool as well. Big old plane. Fits really well in the hand. This one has got a fluted surface here, so less friction for planing really long pieces. This one, I'm actually not sure about this plane. I don't know too much about it. It appears to just be another homemade type plane. Looking forward to using this one as well. This is another homemade plane. This one's really neat. Back this out, and out comes the blade. I sharpened this one up, but I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, so we'll have to put this one to the test. Just the craftsmanship on this is incredible though. The way it's cut in here, just leaving a little sliver of wood right there, this handle. How it's dovetailed in there. This piece right here. Now, in addition to my collection of old planes, of which I have several more, I also got a couple tools that I'm not really too sure about. This one has got a blade of some sort that appears to come back and forth. This is a Stanley Number 71 router plane. So back before routers, you would drag this thing along and it would score and cut out a groove the size of that blade. And then you can adjust the depth fairly simply just by loosening up this screw and then raising or lowering this little screw knob right here. We've also got our scraper plane. I sharpened this one up and it does work fairly well. It's got a very niche use, so I haven't used it too much. Still pretty cool. Now this one I think is for rounding off the top of a post or a pole that could be fitted into like either a rocking chair back or a seat. I've got a couple of these planes here. Here's a Stanley Number 60. It's got a rounded face right here for, you know, as you draw it along, it'll either make a rounded, it'll curve over a corner, or this one is a straight side. So two planes on the same tool. Stanley Number 80, this looks like another scraper plane. Here's a Stanley Number 151. Now this tool I really have no idea. The AA Wood & Sons Co. Wish I knew. Stanley, made in USA, number 611. Looks like a Dunlap. This one's pretty cool because it's ratcheting as well. So it's like an old bit and brace, but it will ratchet. So as you're screwing it in, you can ratchet, back it up, ratchet, back it up. And to go with these old school tools, I've got some old school bits. For example, this one right here, this old Auger Bit. Now these were designed to move at a much slower speed than, say for example, this Auger Bit right here that goes into my big DeWalt peg hole driller. But these were designed to move at a much slower speed, so the whole thing is dull except for the very front face here. And then I got a whole pile of draw knives. So these are cool. These all I need to sharpen up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, big one, 5. Well, now that I've taken you guys through all my old tools, I'd like to take you through sharpening some of the planes and some of the timber framing tools that I have. Show you what it's like and what I do on a rainy day. So I got this set off the internet of whetstones. It's cool because they've got grits on both sides, so 400, 1000, 3000, and 8000. So I find it best to just soak them. The first things we're going to sharpen today are going to be these timber framing chisels. They are in pretty good condition, no big nicks or anything. I just sharpened them probably a few weeks ago, and what we're going to do is just grind down the back a little bit to get it nice and flat again, and then we will put our touch up our micro bevel on the front to get these things razor sharp again. We're also going to take a look at sharpening this timber frame slick. So what this is used for is paring off very fine amounts, and you'll notice it doesn't have a ring or anything on the back. It's just a big long handle. It's because you don't hit it with a hammer. You use your body to just very smoothly glide it through the wood. Now this one is unique because it has a curved face. And this one I've actually never sharpened, and I've had it for probably 6 months, so definitely needs to be touched up. I've been hesitant to sharpen it though because of the curved face. I can't put a honing guide on this, and so it's gonna have to be done by hand. So we'll see how it goes. For these chisels, I do have the honing guides, which are really helpful. And I'm gonna do one with the honing guide and one without. So we'll start without. Same exact type, 1.5 inch big timber framing chisel. This one we'll do without the honing guide, and the other one we'll do with. And we'll see which one is sharper. Guide on here, and we're just taking, I've already done the Oh, it looks like we got a dent in the back of this chisel. What I'm doing here is using a piece of 120 grit sandpaper to knock down that dent in the back of the chisel that I was talking about. I must have dropped the chisel on the ground or on a rock or something at some point, and so I use this sandpaper to take it down quickly, and then I can refine it with the whetstones. So for our comparison, it's just really going to be how it feels to me going through the wood. This is a piece of red oak. It's green, so we'll see how it goes. So up next we're going to be sharpening this slick. Never done it before, so it should be pretty interesting. Alright, so we finished up sharpening the mainstays of timber framing. The framing chisel. Again, this is an 1.5" chisel. This is a Sorby brand, but the handle broke shortly after I got it, so a friend of mine made me this new handle, which is really nice. Another 1.5" chisel. This one is by Bar. Really like this one because it's a socketed handle with this ring here, so when you hit on this thing, it's not going to break. And then our slick, also by Bar.
you.